All right, welcome to another episode of Africans Talk Football TV. What's going on? How's everybody feeling tonight?
Chilling, man.
Pretty good, man.
Doing good.
Really good.
Yeah,
Feel
we
me?
understand why some of you might be all smiles.
Mm.
It's just me today, no Mike, but misery loves company, so I wish he was here with me so we could both kind of wallow in our sorrow together.
Mike,
Pause.
Mike ducking right now. Mike
Yeah,
is ducking right
we
now.
he's feeling a little under the weather. You know what
He
I'm
looking
saying?
like he looking like Embiid right now, who ducking Joker right now. That's what he looking like right now.
He got the blues.
Yeah, he definitely got the
Yeah,
blues right now.
we'll see. We'll see. Some of you, we definitely got the blues. That's facts. But again, thank you to all of the friends, thank you to all the supporters, all of our fans out there who have been just with us jumping from the beginning. If you're just new, welcome to Africans Talk Football TV. Primarily we do talk Premier League, but we'll talk AFCON as we're getting into the end stages of this tournament. One of the better tournaments that we've seen honestly over the past few years, as far as international tournaments go. But we want to start off with the Premier League just because it has been it's been drama since the beginning of 2024. It's been drama. I feel like there's been a lot going on, especially with what's going on in the top four race. There's actually a big title race this year, and we're seeing a lot of teams actually start to become a little bit more healthy. We're seeing the Spurs teams come back to a full health. We're seeing this City team come back to full health. So in the beginning of 2024, we actually had a lot of you know fun to look forward to as far as who was going to be able to carry the torch when some of these players were out for AFCON. The Asian Cup is going on as well. Um, so let's just kind of jump into it because Senegal was one of the teams that was knocked out, and so Chelsea was getting back good old Nicholas Jackson.
Mm.
Doesn't seem like he was fit enough to start, so he did get a little bit of playing time in the end when it was just a little bit too late for Chelsea to get anything done. Going to start off with Chelsea, as you know, the losing team does usually
Mm,
do the honors of starting and
mm.
having to explain their most previous loss, most previous week. Yeah, so this is the part in the year where I usually emotionally just detach from Chelsea. This is the part of the year where, for the sake of my fandom, I hope we do well. But I'm already this year is a wash. This is the part in the season where I look at our team and I say this is honestly what our team looks like, and it's not going to get much better. Um, just because of the inconsistency of starters, injuries, the inconsistency of the players themselves, the inconsistency of tactics or the lack thereof. Sometimes it looks like we have a game plan with Pochettino, and then sometimes we go out there and you have no idea kind of what we're doing. It's just like, all right, well, I'm going to put up my best 11, and y'all just go play ball.
Yeah.
That's how it looks sometimes. There's no real clear directive of what we're trying to do. We just swing it from back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, right to left. Ball goes to our two central midfielders, and then it just goes back to our central defenders, and it goes back to our outside defenders, and then it goes, right to left and right to left. And there's no real like offense. There's no flow. There's no. We kind of just hope that our our Cole Palmer or Nkuku now, who's been back for the last few weeks, can kind of just pull some out and get a wonder goal out of nowhere, and that's not sustainable. It's not good enough. It's defensively we've been not great at all back there either. Just giving up the
Mm.
ball, just in our defensive third, in the middle of the third, and not
Correct.
being able to recover because our outside backs are trying to fly up the field. There's just no, there's no there, one, there's no consistency in the lineup, but there's just no responsibility. Everyone kind of just is out there trying to win the game, but they're not playing as a team. I think one of the announcers even said it against Wolves. Just didn't look like a team. It was a whole bunch of individuals when you looked at Wolves, they were kind of compact. They all knew their responsibilities in defense. They all knew their responsibilities to get back because they were all getting back behind the ball. Even Pedro Neto was getting back. But then when they got the ball, they all had the responsibility and the know-how to get up the field. And it's just like, I know we're a young team, And I know that Pochettino is, he came into a project with all these players and this, then the third. But by this point, we're 5 months into the season. We're 25 games almost into the season. We need to pick it up. We're 2/3 of our way into the season. There's no more time for excuses. And I feel like the whole season's been up and down, but we start with a midweek game at Liverpool at Anfield. That game was always going to be tough. Like, even last week I said this game was going to be something that I don't think we win. Mike said it perfectly. He said, this game is a shootout, we lose. But if, we somehow keep it close, we're defensively sound, we may be able to sneak away with one.
Mike said if there's a goal, then we lose.
Yeah.
A
Like,
goal.
a goal.
Well, you men them got smacked up.
And I said it, bro. It's Liverpool in prime form. Again, we know what's going on with Klopp. Now they're doing the whole documentary this last little half of the season, or they've probably been doing it the whole season, but now we're aware of this documentary that's going on. So everything's going to be a little theatrical when it's at Anfield now. It's just going to, like every game, even if it doesn't matter, it's going to be hyped up that much more because everything's theatrics for the end of the year for them. So just know if you're playing at Anfield, you gonna get, some bullshit called the other way. That's just how it is. That's facts. And what's happening. It's Klopp's little last dance or whatever you want to call it. So just know that it's going to be one of those things at Anfield. But regardless of that, we just didn't go there expecting to win. They dominated pretty much the entire match, and we just looked weak. We got beat by a 18-year-old right back. That's really what happened.
Y'all didn't look up for the match at all.
We didn't look up for the match. We got beat by an 18-year-old right back. That shout out to him, Bradley.
Connor Bradley, man. Shout out Connor Bradley. No, he's having a
game, man. Like, he looks serious, and it's crazy to see. Like there was some little graphic that said, Klopp starting and ending his tenure with generational right backs, because I guess when he started, he was the first one to start Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now on his way out, now he's starting Connor Bradley. So they're trying to show that little comparison, which is cute. What I'm saying, whatever. But at the end of the day, we got beat by this guy who obviously had a day. But if that's going to be the guy that beats us, then we have bigger problems when we play against any other team. Seriously. So it's just like, I don't know where the end is. People are already saying Poch out. It's like, all right, well, let's get to the season before we do any of that. But we need a goal scorer. Like, it's evident. But we just need, honestly, like, we need a lot.
Are you Poch out?
I mean, there's a little graphic that shows Pochettino and Graham Potter through, the same games where they through 22 now, 23.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, we're through 23 games. Essentially, goal differential is a little bit better this year, but
no, it's not.
Or was it not? Here, let me pull up the graphic.
No. Yeah, let's get the facts straight.
Stop
your
the
goal
cap.
differential. Yeah, please stop the cap.
Stop the
please
cap.
Stop the cap. It is your goal differential is minus. I think it's minus 16 worse this year than it was last
16?
year. Minus.
So we don't have the capacity.
Y'all crazy. All right, hold on. Somebody have the graphic?
Yeah, I have it up. So through the last season, this is last season, right?
Yeah, Sunday.
You guys had 8 wins, 8 losses. You had 31 points, 23 goals conceded. You had even goal differential, and you're in 10th place. This season, you have 9 wins, 10 losses, 31 points, 39 goals conceded, minus 1 goal differential, 11th place. So technically, you're in worse place than you were last year. Or we're in worse place than you were with Graham Potter. Which, I mean, that has a lot to say. I mean, this is kind of a Graham Potter run, if you're being honest. You have, a good match here and there, maybe two wins, maybe you get a third, a decent result, and then you're nowhere to be found the next week.
Yeah, I mean,
at home, this is
now.
crazy. At home,
so
this is crazy.
So I mean, at the end of the day, there are two main people that I'm looking at I'm looking at the top because one, we're recruiting these players and now they're all on massive contracts for 7, 8 years. Some of these guys,
They're here to
so
stay.
it's not like we can move these contracts. You know what I'm saying? They're even talking to us about if we fire if we fire Pochettino, we still have to pay him on his contract. And if we were to hire another manager, now we could potentially be in trouble with FFP because we were paying too much money. So there's everyone's on a long-term deal and we're already paying people from previous years because we still have them under contract. So I don't even know what's going to go on with that situation. But as far as am I Poch out? No, because I don't want to get in the habit again of just having this revolving door of coaches, which we already have. Like there, if we want to see some sort of consistency, I want to have some competent coach. But with Pochettino, it doesn't look like he's any better than Graham Potter, and I didn't give Potter any, I didn't give him any grace. So far, they have the same amount of say, for better or for worse, we're in a final for a Carabao, which we weren't in any finals for last year. So I guess we could say that's a step in the right direction. But everything else is pretty much the same. We're still mid-table. We're still not top of the table. Or it's like top half, 10th, 11th, same place. Less on goal differential. I don't really know what to say. They're both trash at this point in the season, but for me, it's just we need to find some sort of consistency. It's just been mad inconsistent. All January, we went through with essentially max points. We start February by getting 2 L's in a row. So it's just like, how do we not, transition into the next month with the same momentum we had, in the beginning of January? Like seriously, through January, we had definitely the easiest run of teams that probably we would have all season, especially
Yeah.
through our Carabao and FA Cup matches or whatever. But we found consistency. We're winning games. We're winning in the Prem. And then, we find a little bit of tough team in Liverpool. And then after that, we collapse at Wolves. So it's like, for me, I don't know what to say. I just think this team is young. It's going to be mad inconsistent, but it's tough to watch. And for me, it's that I'm looking at the manager. Like, how do you get this team back on the right track? So,
But that's the thing. I just feel like, and this is why I don't look at him. I just think a lot of these players were brought without his say for the most part. Like the only ones that I'm like for sure I know that you probably wanted was probably, I mean, maybe Caicedo, because I mean at that point wasn't he the coach already? But like I don't know. I just feel like he needs time to figure it out. I think that there's a lot of guys on your team that have to go to be very that's how I see it.
so I don't know what the issue
That's the
is.
thing. They can't go though. Like you have, even if these guys are on long-term contracts, right? So
Yeah.
these guys that are on 6-year, 7-year, 8-year deals,
Nobody's picking that up.
no
Right
one's
now.
picking that up. Like
But
no
I don't
one's
think
picking that up.
those guys to me aren't it's not. It's everybody else. I feel like you have
Who's
to.
Nate, put a name on it. Who is everyone else?
Every keeper Chelsea has is not very good, in my opinion. All of them.
Petrovic, I ain't gonna lie. Petrovic is better than Sanchez.
Well,
I'm not
Robert
gonna lie.
Sanchez is something else. Yeah, Robert Sanchez is one of those.
I mean, with Kepa
But
alone, who I mean, we can look and see if he's better than Petrovic is right now. Those are our keepers: Petrovic, Robert Sanchez. I guess who's coming off of injury now, and Kepa, who's technically our number one once he comes back. So and then we have some fourth young guy. I think we got from the MLS or something, some American guy, I believe.
yeah, but I just think look at
But
these
it's
guys.
just
Okay,
like,
Thiago Silva passed it. Ben Chilwell not good enough in my opinion. Disasi not good enough. Caicedo has been awful. Like
Terrible.
that is like I
but
really hope
that's
that
the thing.
He had the
he's up.
assist. He had the assist, but awful.
No, but
And
it's just like
and
but
I
it's
want
flashy.
to talk about that because
Gallagher too.
Gabriel,
Like,
I'm very glad you brought that because I wasn't even going to bring up the performances of the game because they're both mediocre. But I've been very, very, very critical of Caicedo all year because my whole life, Chelsea has had good, strong center mids. Even if it was just one good, strong center mids, our midfield was something that you kind of had to run through. Whether it was we're going to man mark you with Conte, and you're just going to have to work hard all day, or we had Fabregas, and we had we're just going to pass around you, or we had Frank Lampard, who was box to box. We always had one of those guys who was willing to do a certain part of the game that was going to either eliminate their center mid or was going to make our midfield just just overpowered. And right now we have two young guys who we paid a lot of money for who haven't done either or. Offensively on that side of the ball is just nowhere to be found. And defensively, it's not that they're even doing their job. It's not that they're not doing their job. They're giving the ball away. It's like you could be defensive and just, be fine. But if you're giving the ball away, it's like, I don't have the time to worry about your defense if you're just doing everything bad to sabotage the squad at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad you brought up the assist, because what happens 2 minutes later? He holds on to the ball for too long. He gets nicked in the middle of the field. It's immediately a counter. It's a 4-on-2, 4-on-3, and they score a goal. And it's moments like that where if he doesn't get the assist, he has a terrible match. And there are moments within that match that he did worse. That's why he got pulled 60 minutes in. That's why he got pulled. You know what I mean? I didn't even want to bring it up, but Caicedo has been terrible. There's been nothing I've seen from any match that he's played that's made me be like, yo, this actually is a guy that could be good for us. Maybe on another team, maybe he could go back to Brighton and do that there, but for us, he just hasn't shown any quality. It's just I'm gonna say that it is. We just had to take the L on him. I mean, hopefully, I don't know who he did. I'm already on next year. Like I already told you, like I'm emotionally detached from the squad. So it's like I'm looking at this team. Like there are a lot of young guys who have a lot of potential, but this year the project has gone totally wrong. Like I see what was trying to happen, but you have to figure out exactly who your favorite 20 are, and then work from there, because there's too many cooks in the kitchen right now. There's not enough people that are injured or that are on the pitch, because a lot of people are injured. We don't know who works well with who, because they just haven't worked at all. So it's terrible. You have to figure out who you got to chop, but you got to chop people and you got to figure it out. Because at this point, it's just sad. Like I'm looking at my team, losing 4-2 to Wolves. After Acuna scored the fourth, I turned it off. I didn't even see us score that second goal. It's like, bro, what's the point? I'm watching this guy like, and the worst part is I'm looking at us at home like, yo, these are our fans watching us lose to Wolves, bro. Wolves did the double on us this year.
They've watched you lose a lot this year.
Wolves beat us home and away. They did the double on us this year. And I'm like, yo, Wolves, a team that
and they jumped you on the table.
Never, ever really have to. They jumped you on the table and they did a double at home. Like and there's no embarrassment. It's like I'm looking at these guys like, yo, we got to get them on Twitter, on Instagram. It's like there's just no embarrassment. You know what I mean? And I mean, why would you be embarrassed when you're getting paid $300 a week, $200 a week, $120 a week? And it's like, damn, I wish these kids cared a little bit more, but I guess it comes down to the manager. He's not getting it in these guys that, this matters. First half of the season, we looked decent. We started off really good in January. I'm like, look, we might even get more points the second half of the season than the first. Now it's looking back like it used to, back in week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8 again. Just we don't know how to figure it out. We don't know how to play with each other. We got 30 new guys on the pitch and no one knows how to pass. Can't string together 4 passes. We can't string together 4 passes, dog. It's like we try to work it out the back, and it's like I'd rather us just boot it up and try to get Jackson to hold the ball up and let everybody figure it out from there, because we try to do 3-4 passes in the midfield and it's going the other way. It's trash, bro. It's honestly trash to watch. And the few chances that we do have, we're not clinical enough to put them away. So this team has a long way to go. I don't think it's entirely Poch's fault, but I think he needs to learn how to manage. Like this is what managers do. Like this, you go through your lumps, but I'm not seeing any sort of like change. I'm not seeing you do anything on the pitch that's making me say, okay, like you're inspiring change in these guys, or you're trying something new with the tactics, or you're even trying to just make sure that they don't concede 4 at home to fucking Wolves. You know, at the end of the day, like, please, like, can we just not concede 4 at home to Wolves? It's embarrassing. So for me, it's all the above are going wrong. So it's tough to watch. It really is tough to watch.
What do you think? What do you think? What's the singular thing? Well, there's a lot of things that you need, but what do you think the biggest thing, in your opinion, your team needs right now? Again, and it can be anything, but
bro, we need a leader, dog. Like I've been saying it all year. We need a true leader. We need a consistent leader. We need an identity. There's no one there, like, and that I think one of y'all shared it in the group of that guy that was given, like, you know, the washed 11 or the forgotten 11. And Reece James was one of the, you know, first couple of names he said. And I'm like, it's true, man. Describe him down to a T. He used to be considered almost close to world class now, like 4 years ago. Like, time flies, bro, when you're having fun.
It's quick, man.
He hasn't been in any list near Trent in the last 2-3 years. Like, I used to hold him in high regard. I used to be able to proudly say, no, Reece James is a better right back than Trent. Can't say that anymore. He hasn't been on the pitch in the last 2 years. Haven't seen him for a spell of games more than maybe 5 in the last 2 years. So, you know, the best ability is availability. We have no leader. He was supposed to be our captain. The guy is out after injury after 4 weeks. He played 4 weeks, gets injured. Now he's out 4 months. All right, well, there's our leader. Who's next? Well, Thiago Silva can't speak a lick of English. He's probably the second best player on our team. Well, I guess we got to give it to Conor Gallagher. He's an academy kid, and he bleeds Chelsea. So let's give it to him. That guy stinks. He's not able to lead a team. When we go down a goal, you looking at Conor Gallagher, be like, all right, yo, let's go get it. Nobody wants to go look at Conor Gallagher, bro. So then now look what happens to him. He gets a red card the week he becomes captain. So now he's gone for 2 weeks. So now who's this? Like, so it can't be freaking Chile. Why? Because he got hurt too. Oh, now Chile's out for 3 months, sick. Now who's next? Who's been at Chelsea long enough? No one knows, bro. It's like there's no consistency, and then when Pochettino needs to lean on somebody, there's nobody there to be able to be like, yo, I got your back, dog. Because no one actually like knows the manager. So it's just like been a revolving door of players. There's been no real leader. It's just been, you know, it's been a dumpster fire. To be honest, it's been a complete dumpster fire. And at least this year we had a consistency with manager. We didn't just sack the guy after 5 weeks and be like, no, this guy sucks. We stayed with him. You know, I guess we're almost 2/3 of the way through the year.
Hear reports.
You know, at the end of the year, if we let him go, we let him go. It's like, yo, he had his year. It didn't work. I would hate, like, I would hate to just sack him. I don't care how bad it gets, unless we're like seriously in relegation talk.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how bad it gets. You know what I'm saying? Do not sack the guy, because it would do nothing for us. It would just make us really spiral, because then we would actually be on, we would be on thin ice at that point. So for me, it would just be, at least, if you guys are thinking about getting somebody in the back end, do that shit in the back end. For me, let the guy finish out, because there's going to be no consistency if we fire him now and try to get back in some sort of form. I mean, like, at the end of the day, we're still in shit. Like, we're still in the FA Cup. We're still in the Carabao. We could still technically possibly turn it around. Is just at this point, you know, top 4, top 6, Europe, all that's out the window. It's just, can we please just try to stay afloat? You know, try to stay top half of the table, try to stay top 10, try to stay top 8, because that's what realistically we are at right now. That we've been a mid-table club since Roman left. We're a mid-table club until otherwise. Like, it just is what it is. We're a rich mid-table club. It's weird to say, because back in the day, if you were rich, you were good. Now it's like you could be rich in a mid-table club. It's kind of embarrassing. It's honestly very embarrassing, but that's where we're at right now.
I agree.
It is what it is.
I agree. I think, I don't know. I don't want to talk about him too much, but I don't know. Caicedo's just look like, I don't know. He hasn't looked the same since his injury. Like, he looks heavy. Like, I don't know. Like, he looks like he's just moving slow.
The price tag on his shoulders.
Facts.
That's what it is.
Not wrong.
I feel like when you try to force, I feel like we've just been trying to force it. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been trying. We've looked around the league and we've seen that a lot of these good teams, quote unquote, have this young core and but it like you can't buy that chemistry, bro. Like some of that has to be organic. You know what I'm saying? And if you wanted to keep it organic, you should have kept Mason Mount, or you should have kept, because those are the guys that would have been able to keep the glue together. But we sold off all the academy guys. We sold off a lot of these guys who had been there for the Champions League run. Cool. But then you try to bring in all these young guys from different countries and not all of them are on the same level, to be completely honest. Like some of these guys are way better than others, but we can't see that on the pitch because there's just not there's no connect. Like we can't see Nkuku and Cole Palmer be their best because they're backed by like Mudryk and some of these other guys whose talent just isn't there yet. And you're supposed to have Sterling be this glue guy, and he just also hasn't been good enough. So it's like, there's no way to see the best in a lot of these guys because the talent level isn't there and they just don't mesh. And Caicedo is one of those guys who was supposed to help us mesh. And bro, whether it's the injury, whether he doesn't want to be there, for me, he just doesn't look happy there. He just doesn't look happy there. And that's just going to affect you in your everyday. And it is what it is, man. Like we have this guy, so hopefully we can figure it out. But for me, I just hope we can keep some sort of consistency through the end of the year, whether like just find some form again that we had in this January run, because we weren't bad. Like we really weren't that terrible of a team. We started to find a little fire, and it just got blown out real quick. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
it's windy out there in West London, I guess.
I never had a fire, man. It was just it's a lighter.
No, we had a little candle wick going.
Thoughts on Liverpool's week, because they played Jaw and they played Gabriel's team, obviously. But
yeah, man, we talked about it. So we talked about it. I said Liverpool had a big week. I said, we gave them a game last time. I didn't think it would be the same considering where they were on the table and where we are in our season, but that Arsenal game was going to be a big one. That was obviously the match of so far has been match of the year as far as the stakes for what it meant for both teams. And I knew Arsenal was going to come to play, man. We all knew that. Gabriel wasn't here last week to talk about it, but Arsenal knows what happened last year. They were top of the league until the last month of the year, and they understand now what it takes to win the league, and they know that these games at home mean more than anything. Like this, not only is just like a game that you win just to win, but like this is a momentum. Like this is a momentum game. We're not scared of you. You're not big bro anymore. Like we know where you're at on the table, but that don't mean nothing for real. Like we're coming to get our lick back. And they had to come out and win. Like they had to come out and win big. And I think that's what they did. And I mean, honestly, they all played exactly how you would want them to play if you want to win the league, if you want to make this title race. Because like we all knew City coming, like City's getting healthy again. Liverpool, without Salah, they're still buzzing. They still have Salah in a tuck. So for Arsenal, they had to win this game. But I'll let G talk about it. Obviously, he's a resident Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think we dominated for 75 minutes. From minute one, I think we dominated. They didn't have anything in the first half. I think the first half that we played is probably close to either our best or second best half of football we've played this season, easily. We completely dismantled this Liverpool team in the first half. They couldn't hang with us at all. They couldn't touch us, if I'm being completely honest. And it sucked to honestly gift them a goal at the end of the match, or at the end of the first half. It was unfortunate. Honestly, Saliba should have just cleared it. And it was kind of similar to how Virgil messed up and should have just cleared it as well, which he admitted to. And I think Saliba should have just cleared it. I'm not really going to blame Raya. I think Saliba should have just handled it. You can blame Raya a little bit, but I'm not really looking at him for that. But after the first half, I was very upset just about the goal, just because we shouldn't have given it up. But second half came out, and I expected Liverpool to try to dominate, try to come back and show that they're in it. But we weathered the storm, and once we weathered the storm, we once again dominated right after that. And we took over the match. We were able to get our 2 goals and get out of there. And I'm just I was a little skeptical about the lineup with Jorginho starting, if I'm being completely honest.
Mm.
So I didn't know what Arteta would do today. I didn't know if he was going to start Eddie. I didn't know if he was going to start Trossard, but he made the 100% right decision. Kai Havertz in the 9 role. You guys can say whatever they want about Kai Havertz. The performance in the 90 minutes that he put in was some of the most important minutes we needed this season. The way he was able to deal and handle with Konate and Virgil van Dijk. I'm sorry, I don't think Eddie Nketiah or Trossard could have done that. Thank you, Trini, because he knows. Kai Havertz's performance was amazing, and I can't even speak enough about Jorginho's performance either. I was very skeptical when Jorginho started this game, because I knew this midfield was going to want to run, and I know they didn't have Szoboszlai, but I know they're going to try to get active and run. But Jorginho, I mean, this is exactly why we brought him in when we were injured. We need experienced guys to come in and do a service. This is where we need you for, and we haven't called upon Jorginho to put in 8-game run streak, 8-game starting 8 games or starting 10 games. We don't need you to do that for us. We just need you to perform your best when we need you, and then we're going to need you in important moments. And I feel like one of the last big games that he had was Tottenham, which I feel like he failed in that one because he gave him a goal. But this one, Jorginho, man of the match, and he honestly deserved it. I can't even speak enough about what a great job he did. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just happy all around with the performance. And the biggest thing I really wanted to talk about today are all the critics and the haters. And yeah, and well, not even just Mike. I'm talking about all the men them at Sky and Jamie Carragher and Gary. All I don't even know if they're at Sky, but all these haters who keep talking about us celebrating and this and you guys act like you won the league and this and that and the third. Let me. I want to make something like very, very clear for Mendem, please. I don't understand how you can go from saying, and this is Mendem on the pod, this Mendem 2 weeks ago. Oh, well, Arsenal is out of a title race now, and are you guys still in a title race now? And this, that, and the third, and you guys need to get results, or you're not going to be in a title race, or questioning if we're going to be in this or that and the third, right? And this is a must win, this is that and the third. So we treat the game like a must win because we know it's a must win. We go out there, we dominate from minute 1, we put in a shift against the team at the top of the table in a marquee matchup at the marquee game of the week on a Sunday at 11 o'clock. The last game of that week, technically. We put in a shift. We do it in front of our home fans. We have Giroud in the crowd. We have Xhaka who came back. We have Mendem who came back to watch the match. We put in a shift in front of our home fans, right? And then people come and say, and we celebrate after a big win because obviously we just got a big win against a team at the top of the table. It helped us keep our place in the title race. It helped our chances to win the title. And then people come and are mad when we celebrate at the end. But you guys were just telling us that how we need to go get a must win and we need to go get a must win to stay in a title race. But then when we get it, now people are mad. Pick a side, choose, please. Let me know, because we can't do any right. We either lose and we're supposed to be in this Arsenal team this week, or we win and we're doing too much and we're acting like you're not supposed to celebrate. You guys make up your minds. You just hate on our team for no reason.
It was a big game, and it was a big game.
Everyone knew it was a big game.
The photographer thing was, I didn't know that the guy was retiring at the end of the season.
He's retiring this year. He's been our team photographer for I don't know, I think over 20 years or 15 years or something like that. So after a big win like that, so you're telling me what when Klopp, I know it's his last season, but even when Klopp gets big wins at Anfield, he doesn't go to his team and do his fist pumps and the whole crowd goes crazy. But we never hear about that with Klopp, right?
Oh, Arteta too.
We never hear about any of
Wow,
this.
you guys were really showboating. You guys are showboating.
We don't hear anything about this with him, but then when it comes to us, everybody wants to talk about, oh, these guys, we can't celebrate when we win a big game, when we beat the top team in the league to keep our title run going. We can't celebrate. You celebrate the many wins in the middle of the season, and I don't care what anyone says. I don't want to hear what anyone has to say. We got our dub. We shut everyone up, and because we shut everyone up, now everyone has something to say. Now everyone wants to go to other things that have nothing to do with the match. Please, I don't want to hear it. We're in a title race for all you people who don't think we're in a title race. We're in a title race until we're not, and I'll confirm that because it'll be very clear. And I'm tired of it. So please,
Mike, I know you're watching.
When you talk to us, please put some respect in your name. Put respect on our name, and please talk. Please talk to us when you have a place to talk. I don't want to hear people who we have to scroll to see your names talking about my team. Please. Bench players are talking like starters, and I hate it. So please relax. Please relax. For all the haters out there, and I'm not just talking to one specific people. I'm talking about all the haters out there, all the haters out there talking about our celebrations of this and the third. When we handle business, then people have a problem with it. We're going to handle business. And like I said, we handled business. We won 3. I sent the pod 2-1, but we won 3-1. Good goal at the end by Trossard. And we had a great performance. And now people are mad at us. We played well. Come on. Just, you can hate us. Go ahead. Most hated. We'll always be the most hated. So
no, yeah, from an impartial, just an impartial watching that match. Arsenal from the jump. You could tell they knew exactly what time it was, and I mean, they kind of gave away that goal at the end of the first half. I feel like that blunder by Van Dijk and Alisson, you got that back, so that was a wash, and then that third goal sealed it at the end. But Arsenal needed to win that match, like I said in the beginning. If they want to win the league, like they know they want to win the league this year. When you win matches like this, that's how you know as a team, like, okay, yeah, we're serious. Because if we lose this match, potentially they go up 7-8 points. It's kind of out of reach for you, almost, because you're putting it in everybody else's hands. Where now, if you win this, you take the initiative to be like, yo, no, we gonna get these points back. We're going to climb right back up the table. We're going to go 2 points behind. So, I don't know. This is big for Arsenal. And, all I'll say about this is we know the British media has their favorites. We know that. We know who the favorites are.
But I mean,
the guys that are on TV that we see every weekend play for 2 teams. Manchester United and Liverpool. We're starting to see some inklings of other guys, but you know who their favorites are. It's clear. So I mean, it is what it is. You're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that. And again, I said this last week with Klopp, his little victory lap. His little last dance that he's doing, his little documentary thing, whatever they want to call it, behind the net, like it's gonna be theatrics all year. So you're gonna see you're gonna see the propaganda, you're gonna see the bias. You just got to go in there and you just got to get your dub.
That's honestly, cool, and that's why he took an L, because that's why they took an L.
But I mean, to you guys' point,
or anything like that,
and just to make the obvious. I mean, Arsenal is in the title race. I mean, so is Liverpool, so is City. I mean, I think every game for those 3 teams is a must-win from now until the end of the season. I mean, all the teams, like, they still got to come. They still got to go see the other big teams, and I think those 3 teams are the only. Those are the only teams where, like, their wins and losses are very impactful for the outcome of the actual winner. Everyone else, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, you know, every game's a must win for United too. Every game's a must win for Chelsea for different reasons, but most definitely. I think
All right, chill.
y'all three are. No, I'm serious. I mean, because if it gets really bad for you guys, I mean,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Who knows? So, I mean, remember there was relegation talk with you guys last year. They were throwing
there was never any true. Again, the media likes to create narratives and stories, and that creates drama, and so it's fun for fans to poke at that because they think that it's true when in real life it's a farce. There was never any real threat that Chelsea was going to be in the bottom three, but at the end of the day, these losses don't look great, but one team that's been turning it around, I would say it has been Manchester United.
Hold on.
I don't know what's going on.
Before we get to United, look at this guy.
That's crazy. He said, "Foden." He said, "Foden."
Foden, man. Quickly, let's touch on City real quick before we get.
Before we get United, let's touch on City.
Juan Solo's here, man. Give us your thoughts, Solo. I mean, shit, man. Let's be real. I think was this Foden's first hat trick, right?
I think I'm not sure. I didn't watch the game.
Was this his first Premier League hat trick?
I think so, but I'm not 100%
possibly.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Solo writes on there.
That's hilarious. But
this is the thing with Foden, man. This is why City is so dangerous, because just when they start talking about Phil, that's crazy. Just when they start talking about Phil Foden and how he's been quiet this year and how, second Premier League hat trick. Okay. Thank you, Solo, for the fact check. Just how they talk, they just started talking about Kevin's back, how his spot might not be secure. He goes and he just drops a hat trick. You know what I mean? And it's just like this City team is like when Kevin came back, I said the City team's back. Kevin De Bruyne, another assist again today, just picking apart the midfield and just doing what he had to do. Even when you score against City first, you have to know that the game's not over. You have to defend for 90 full minutes, and if you don't have enough firepower to score against them, it's going to be tough to beat. So City's just back.
KDB though, man, I just wanted to ask, like, how good, like, could he be like? Is he like what, top 5 midfielders, like in the Prem all time?
We ask this, I feel like every other week.
Man, yeah, man.
We got to put him up there. If we bring up the discussion every other week,
let's go top 3. Because
let his career end, man.
Yeah, can we let it breathe?
His career doesn't end, bro. A lot of the things that he's done is this nigga talking about Papa Sly. But no, I'm saying, like, in terms of just like what he's doing, he doesn't even like look like he's at his best right now. To me, like it doesn't seem
injury, of course.
But that's the point, though, bro. Like he's not even at like like he's clearly not in shape. Like he's clearly like not like where he needs to be physically, and he's still like miles
than everybody else.
And like that's like why I'm just like I don't know. Like I think this guy, he's incredible, man.
Definitely is. It's cool though. We'll see him. We'll see him at the Etihad in March. I think March 16th or something like that. We'll see him. We'll see you very soon. Yeah. Elton coming for them, man, for sure.
Yeah. I can't wait till Haaland leaves, by the way, too. Haaland is definitely that guy. Yeah, like he's, I don't know. Pep came out and said something about like, oh, like we're so lucky to have him, and hopefully, we love having him here, and hopefully he loves to be here. But yeah, man, I would love to see that come to an end as well too.
Salam love that rumor mill.
Why not?
It's just because you guys. He going to y'all?
No.
Okay.
he's not gonna come. He's not gonna. That bridge is burned. Like he's not gonna come to. He hates us.
Real Madrid
But
or Mbappe.
he'll go with Mbappe and them. Yeah, but I mean, shit, man. Let's get into it, man. You see the World Cup trophy next to me? It's for my fellow World Cup champion, Lisandro Martinez. Just wanted to start with him. I think that it's a shame that, not a shame, but just very unlucky for him to go off injured. Sounds like he's going to be out until the next international break, until after that. So hopefully he comes back. His presence back was immense. Not just him, but Casemiro. Shout out Casemiro. The casuals won't see it, but he was the reason why we scored the first goal. The way that he was able to win the ball out of the air like that, to win it back and feed it to Højlund. No, I mean seriously, not one person said anything about his performance. And I just, to you guys' point about like, the media and obviously them, saying, what they want to say. Like it's crazy how this guy, like, the British media has been, ever since he's came, have just been trying to tear him down. And he comes back and he's not even where he needs to be physically too. And he's, what I'm saying, like, made an impact. So yeah, bro. As hey, go ahead, bro. Let's let that marinate. But just man. Casemiro, Lisandro.
Y'all so corny.
Yeah, man, all them, man. I thought it was great that I mean, we had 6 points over the week. So I mean, we had a pretty big ending of the we have a pretty good, week last week with, and hopefully, this kind of can spark something towards, the end of the season. But shout out Rasmus Højlund, my striker, Rismus. Shout out Alejandro Garnacho. And most importantly, I just, for me, my favorite player right now in the world, just Kobe Mainu, is, he's immense. And I think, what's crazy, bro, is that like people look at him and like people are so wowed by like him just because he's so technically just good on the ball. But in reality, I think what people don't understand is that we just don't have technical players. So when you have one technical player that plays the way he does, it just makes him look crazy. And to be very honest with you, like, it's crazy the responsibility that he's getting. They're passing him the ball. They're looking for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? McTominay doesn't get open. McTominay finds an opponent and he hides behind him. That's his game. But yeah, man, the new Starboy in the Premier League has arrived, and it's Kobe Mainu. Definitely, because everybody else is older than him now. Sorry, Gabriel. Saka's not young anymore. He's a man. So yeah.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, you're at. I'm just saying, he's a man now. You're at where I was at.
That sounded crazy.
Ain't a boy no more.
Nah, that guy, he's a grown man. Don't get it twisted. Marcus Rashford was trying to pull that too. Remember? Oh, I'm the star boy. And then it's like, no, you're actually 26. So, no, but definitely one of the bright young players in the Premier League. I don't think that's biased at all. He's not the best, but I'm just saying, like, he's in that. Hopefully,
you just called him Starboy.
He is. Who's the next Starboy?
It's not him.
Who is it?
Not him.
Not
yet.
Saka.
He has not. He's
Saka's
not.
A man. Saka's a man. This guy is. He's 19.
He does not have that title. He doesn't have that title.
He's 18.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
No, I will say this though. It's clear that you guys have a good young core with Rasmus, Mainu, and Garnacho. Like, y'all really got a good. Thank you, Solo. Yeah, Uncle Cass been looking like he lost a step.
Thank you.
But no. So
thank you.
So Salam, I'm unfortunately, what's his name? Lisandro went down with the injury. But would you say that was your strongest 11? What you saw start that match against West Ham? Would you say that is your preferred? Like at the beginning of the year when you saw your roster, that you were like, "This is what I want to see."
Yeah, at the only change I'd probably make is Varane for Maguire. Other than that, I thought this is the team. I think this is our best team going forward. You can argue, I think, depending on the matchup, Delo over Wan-Bissaka. Maybe if there's the left winger that day is just someone that needs to be shut down, bring in Aaron. But other than that, yeah, I think that this was our best lineup, and I think again, like I said a few weeks, like we haven't seen United at their best, and I think that this is just a glimpse. This is only one game, but again, this is also a team that we lost to a few weeks in December. We lost 2-0 to what was that? West Ham at away at their stadium, and then to beat them 3-0 with the players that were out at that moment when we played them the first time, I think is very obvious. So I think that like if we can, but the problem is just like we have such a like we're so fragile because like already like Lissandro's out. So what does that mean? So for me, I think it's very simple. I think Luke Shaw needs to play at left center back, or because I don't like Luke Shaw at left back, to be very honest with you. I just feel like physically he's just not able to get up and down. He's not like what you need in a modern left back. And he looks better at center back just because he doesn't have to run as much. And he's still kind of decently quick. So I think that would be a good solid option going forward. And hopefully everybody can stay healthy and we can push for a spot in Europe. But shout out my guy, man, Kobe Mainu. And
He's good, man. Please stop with the name. But yeah, no.
What's the cutoff though? Let's answer this question. What's the cutoff?
I was going to ask. I was going to say 20 or 21. I feel like once you're no longer a teenager.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay. So Saka's how old? 21?
I was going to say 20 or 21. We can do.
He's 22 years old. Sorry. He's out. So Saka, I told you at this point is, yeah, like
sure.
You gotta get the adult membership, not the kids membership anymore.
Yeah, I feel like once you hit 22,
you don't eat free here, son.
Yeah,
you gotta pay. You gotta pay now. So
whatever you say.
Yeah, that 22 don't sound like 21. You feel me?
Just saying.
Whatever you say. All I know is Kobe Mainu is not Starboy.
Phil Foden is 23. Phil Foden is 23.
Like they all been in the league a little bit too. Like,
he has played less than 15 Prem matches. Please relax.
Yeah, you don't need
relax.
You don't need it, man. This is an eye test. At one point, Saka had only played a decent amount of games, but we could all tell that there was something there.
No, but we didn't call him Starboy after 15 games. Please
we called him Starboy.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
What do you mean? We called him Starboy. We called him Starboy what, last year?
We've been calling him.
No, they've been doing that
Starboy for a minute now. Come on now, boy.
They've been doing it probably since he stepped on the scene.
Yeah.
You guys have been talking about Saka since he was
77.
17.
Yes, I mean he's been that good, yeah, but we didn't say Starboy.
I'm almost.
I mean, we did early, but it wasn't this early. It wasn't this early though.
Yeah, but he's 18 years old. He's 18.
I understand that. I understand, but he's not that yet.
But I'm asking you who is though. Like there has to be one. If it's not Foden, if it's not Saka, if it's not like it's just
we all talk about players that are 23. You could probably put Connor Bradley.
We can revisit this, but I would say the cutoff for Starboy would be 20 or 21.
Connor Bradley balling too. You can say he's Starboy if you're gonna go off your criteria. What are you talking about? I can say Connor Bradley Starboy right now. So stop it. Come on, man. We're not gonna put that label on the one. You could if you wanted to right now.
Well,
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
One good game does not constitute Starboy.
It wasn't one. He's been on a run of matches. The only reason
it's been one game where Kobe Mainu has been solid.
I'm not saying that for either.
This guy played in the
one game shouldn't constitute.
He started. You guys probably. I don't know if you guys watched our preseason games. You watched your preseason games, but this guy started in our best 11. He was there, but he got hurt in the Arsenal game, and then Yeah, he had to miss the time that he did. And now he's coming back immediately. Oh, Casemiro, you're back too? That's our best midfield. Do you know what I'm saying? And honestly, his ascension has really covered up the fact that Bruno has gone missing this season. And it's you know what I'm saying? And that's my Starboy. So
All right.
I'm just saying.
I'll give it to
You
you. I'll
guys
give it
tell
to you.
me
I'll give it to you. You got it. No, you got it, big bro.
Starboy
You
right
got it,
now
big
in
bro.
Premier
You
League?
got it, big bro. It's Kobe Manu. You got it, big bro.
I mean, look,
it's Kobe Manu.
every team
You
has
got it, big bro.
every team has that young guy that they hope
Connor
can be that
Bradley.
guy.
Oh, look
Y'all
at
can
my
have
man.
Manu.
I do agree with you. I won't say what you said, but I I won't disagree with you. I don't know what's going on with him, bro. I really don't know what's going on with him. I really hope that he can fix it, but
Bruno's nowhere to be found.
yeah, man. It just yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, that's not the problem, Solo. I've seen him take shots. I almost prefer him not to take shots. To be if he's taking a shot, just turn around, go kick. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is, that's how it be. But yeah, man. Yeah, let's get into predictions. Who you guys see next?
West Ham.
Oh,
Sunday.
sorry. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do that, and then I'm gonna ask the question. Sorry, go ahead. You see West Ham?
West Ham Sunday 9 a.m. at West Ham Stadium. I forgot what it's called. What's West Ham Stadium called? I don't know. The it has all the bubbles.
Yeah,
it's not the theater. Yeah,
bubble?
it has all the bubbles. Yeah. I honestly, I just want to say,
I think it's
I
London
rock with West
Stadium,
Ham.
right?
Somewhat,
London Stadium. London Stadium.
I rock with West Ham. That is a beautiful stadium. What surrounds West Ham is beautiful. I would love to go back to that place. I just want to say that. But this Sunday we will win 3-0. They're on a rut. We need to continue our dominance. It's a must win after this. 2-0, 3-0. Get out of there. Good result.
Okay.
So we have a little bit of a long week. We see Aston Villa midweek at Villa Park.
L incoming.
The FA Cup.
L incoming.
I don't know. Let's just not embarrass ourselves.
Oh man,
we're still in it, and this is this is why I really wanted to win that match at home, and we just squandered it from there. I knew it was going to be a rough month, but and then we see Crystal Palace at Crystal Palace, so we're away this whole week. Next week, Monday, so it'll be the last game of the week. We'll see. It really depends on how the midweek game goes, but this could be a long week for us.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree. We see Aston Villa on Sunday at Villa Park. So hopefully,
tire them out for you. Pause.
Yeah, hopefully Chelsea guys can tire them out for us. That's our only game this week, so I think that's going to be really beneficial for us. More time, the better. I think we're in a good run of form. So is Villa, to be fair. But I'm confident right now. So I'm going to say we win 2-1. I think away from home, we'll probably concede a goal. I didn't say this before, but I was actually happy with our defensive performance. Onana had a good save. But yeah, I think we have. I mean, that was the only thing that he really
had a good save.
No, I mean that was really like we could have went down.
I know what you mean. It was just funny the way you said it. It just sounded like he had a good save.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we win 2-1. So but yeah, my question to you guys to kind of wrap up was, obviously, we had kind of predictions going into this season What's something that you got wrong? Looking back, just kind of now we're at that midpoint. I'll go first. Mine was I was completely wrong about Andre Onana. And I hate to say that just because he had such an I mean he had a good save, a good game over the weekend, but um I thought him coming, I thought we'd be playing a different way. His absence really has even further made me appreciate David De Gea. And I said it before and I'll say it again. The reason why we're out of the Champions League is because of that man. And I think if De Gea was in there, I think we would have still been in the Champions League, but it is what it is. But, I got it wrong about Onana. But I pray that this is the start of something good. All that, because even at AFCON, he was being goofy at AFCON too. So, hopefully he's back. He's on the straight and narrow, but hopefully he can prove me wrong twice.
And
Oh man.
That's a good question. It's a really good question. I don't I got completely wrong.
Or just something that just be like, I thought this was gonna be. I mean, Caicedo for me was also another one. Like I thought Caicedo and Enzo was gonna be like, wow, like that's.
This is for my team or for anything?
No, just anybody. Just anybody.
Oh, anything. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like McAllister for Liverpool, I thought he was gonna be. I think I told Yasser he'd be top 5 in assists. I got that completely wrong.
Yeah, I don't know where we pulled that from.
Nah, I thought he was gonna be good, man. Like, he's surrounded by a lot of weapons. Like all he had, like he's the only one that really like distributes. Like in that,
He's
team.
another guy. Like I really don't know what he's great at. He's another Mason Mount type fella where he's supposed to be good, but like what's he great at?
Yeah, I mean,
not to compare the two, but
yeah.
I mean, Gabriel, the only reason you think it's a good question is because there's probably a lot about your team that's going right. For me, there's a lot that I got wrong for my squad this year. But
it don't have to be about your team.
Yeah, but I will make it about my team because the biggest one for me, bro, has been Reece James.
That's a good one.
Like this year was supposed to be the year, captain coming off, getting his little call up to England, his little, there was just a lot of hype around him this year. And I was willing to buy into the hype. I was ready to buy into the hype. And 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, he was gone for 4 months. So it's like, after that, I kind of knew the season was going to be pretty bad, but it's just been tough, having who's supposed to be the guy, the leader of your team, just nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Absolutely trash. I mean, a lot's gone bad, but that's been the worst.
One thing I got wrong, I definitely said Sterling was going to be good for Chelsea, but he's been trash. So that's one thing I definitely got wrong this season. I want to do one about my team though.
I mean,
one about my team that I got wrong this season is that well, I won't even say I got it wrong about this season, but I just it came to a realization to me is that we'll never win a title if Zinni's our starting left back consistently. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it'll be possible if he's our starting left back. And I thought it was possible beforehand, but I don't think it is. He's too injury prone and he's too poor defensively. Although he breaks lines and things of that sort. He hasn't had a great season, and I don't think we can do that. I think if we want to win a title, we need like another Ben White on the other side. And secretly, Ben White's been having an amazing season. I mean, secretly, he's been having a great season. Consistently just locking up left wingers and providing offensive support when we needed defending well. So, yeah, man, that's a big realization I came to. And it just, I don't think Zinni could definitely, I mean, he can go on a run of matches, it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be the worst thing. But in those crucial moments, I think Timber is going to be crucial, like absolutely crucial for us moving forward. And yeah, I think he'll be our starting left back once he gets healthy, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, it's a realization.
Actually, yeah, I want to do one last one, and then before we wrap up, just do like a quick AFCON wrap up as well. One thing I got wrong was Declan Rice, man. I didn't think he was going to be like, I didn't know he was going to step into that Arsenal team and instantly be their best player.
Yeah.
And it's clear that he's their best player. I mean, just looking at this past game against Liverpool, what he was able to do, and Salam, this is what I was thinking about saying. It just came to me when you asked like what Chelsea's biggest issue is. When you look at Declan Rice, $100 million, 100 million euros, pounds, whatever it is, cool. We pay the price, but when you look at what he does for them on a week-to-week basis, I mean, you could take the Liverpool match, and there are X amount of examples of just how he was able to win the ball back in the midfield. Even if he lost the ball, how he tracks back, the passes he's making, how he's able to just command what's going on. And it's like we have two guys that we're supposed to have had paid to also do the same sort of thing. And week in, week out, they're both getting yellow cards. They're both giving the ball away. They're both reasons that we're actually getting these counters on us. And it's just night and day when you look at the midfield that Arsenal has and what one guy is doing versus the midfield that we have and what two guys who are being paid to do the same job can't figure out, and it's tough. It's extremely tough. But for me, just the flip side, I was just saying like Declan Rice, I didn't realize how good he would be with that many good players around him. And I think he's honestly one of the reasons that Arsenal's still here.
No,
we done said it.
He surprised me too.
We've said it. There are games where Odegaard just goes missing. There are months where Odegaard goes missing. Saka has his, he has his days where he goes missing too. But with Declan Rice, it doesn't matter if he has a good day, a bad day, or a so-so day. It's always a 7 out of 10, at least 7.5 out of 10. He's never given you anything like he's so consistent. It's like it's honestly a wonder to see somebody that can consistently do the same job every single day, and he's actually class. Like he's winning the ball back, and then he's pinging it 30 yards. It's not like he's just winning the ball back and then we got to wait. He's winning the ball back and then hitting it, and then advancing the play or calming the game down or saying, hey, let's figure it out. Like you can see it on the pitch what he's doing, and it's honestly the reason Arsenal's at where they at today.
Yeah, he brings a lot more than just like his quality like on the field. Like he brings a lot of like character to that team. I've always like, and this is why I really wanted him at United, just because I felt like he really would have helped us like in this area. But like
he's a leader.
I think it speaks volume when your best player is your like hardest worker at the same time. Like I think that is like
you're not going to yell at him when because he's yelling at you to get back while he's also making the 40 yards.
He's the hardest worker in that team, so you can't tell him anything. And it's like he's also the best player though too. And like when your best player is the person that's working the hardest, like I tell my younger kids that all the time. Like it's that stuff is contagious, and when you lead by example like that, like man. I mean, he's worth. Not a lot of people really fulfill their price tag. He definitely him and Jude Bellingham. I mean, both guys that United could have had. It's so sad. It's so sad. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't know. Honestly, he surprised me too. I knew he'd be good for us, but
I didn't think it'd be like I honestly didn't think it was gonna be like this.
Bro,
that's a man.
That's a man's man.
I can't tell y'all how like how stable I feel in midfield. It's actually the most from the last like four years of not being stable in the midfield.
Yeah.
To like being kind of somewhat stable with, like last year with Xhaka and Partey, even with them being out, to like full stability. Like I don't feel like a lick of worry playing out the back anymore. Like
especially with
not
the
an inch,
triangle,
like,
the triangle of him, Saliba, and Gabriel. It's like
it's like
nobody's gonna outrun us or
yeah,
outmuscle us.
Yeah,
or,
like it's he surprised me too, man. I feel
good for you guys,
great.
man.
I feel great.
That's you talk about a spine of you guys' team. If you guys get a striker, I mean, shit, like that's
that's the missing that's the missing piece.
If you guys get a striker, I mean, it's obvious.
And I mean, all 5 hands of Exodia at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like I think Ivan Toney is going to be like that Declan Rice next year. It's gonna he's going to go to that team wherever he goes to, and I think that he's going to score goals for them. It's just a matter of who is the highest bidder, which I thought he looked pretty decent today, and he scored. I think last time they were out. So yeah, man. Shout out Tony.
Shout out.
So yeah, man. You guys have shout outs?
Shout out Jorginho.
That's a good shout out.
Shout out Jorginho. Shout out all the haters who hated on our celebrations. Keep hating until we win the title. Just keep hating. Even when we win the title, keep hating after that.
I got 2 shout outs. My Ghana boys. One is Mike. And the other one is Kobe Mainu. Yeah. The Black Stars, man.
The
Black Stars, man.
Speaking of shout out, man, Adama Lookman.
Oh yeah.
That guy has been balling. Just before we close out, just a quick recap for AFCON. We are now in the semifinals. We got Nigeria versus South Africa.
Oh, when's that game? This weekend?
No, these games are actually coming up in a couple of days. So
tomorrow and Thursday,
February 7th. No, they're both February 7th. February 7th.
Okay.
So in 2 days, it's February 7th. We see Nigeria versus South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ivory Coast versus Democratic Republic of Congo. Those games will be at noon and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, respectively. So yeah, man, Lookman, he scored the 1-0 winner against Angola to put them through. South Africa won against Cape Verde, who was probably one of the little Cinderella stories of this AFCON for sure. They beat them after a 0-0 draw, went all the way to penalties. Ivory Coast was able to beat Mali 2-1 in the quarterfinals, and
crazy game.
Yeah,
crazy game,
mayhem. 3 red cards, winner in the 120. Well, first of all, equalizer in the 90th to take it to overtime, and then
did you hear the stadium? Oh my God,
my God,
the Africans in there. I was like, I just that moment, I just wanted to be there. Just
the ref was foul though. He should have let him take that corner. That was foul work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was foul work. It was a madness. It was
Trini,
a madness.
we've been talking about AFCON all tournament. It's been the most entertaining international tournament besides World Cup I've seen in a long time, in a very very long time. No game you could call the winner. It could be 0-0 in the first half, and then second half you'll see 4 goals, 3 cards. It can turn at any moment. So it's been very fun to watch. But now we're down to the final 4. So who do y'all got in the semis in Nigeria against South Africa?
So I know everyone would probably think that the obvious assumption for the final would be Ivory Coast versus Nigeria. But with how AFCON is going, I just want to say I think one of these teams, either South Africa or Congo, like one of them are getting to the final. I don't see both of them. I mean, yeah, we would love to see, I guess, Ivory Coast versus Nigeria. Those are 2 of the top teams in the tournament. But with the way that the tournament has been going, I mean, all these teams are even, man. And I mean, they're in a semifinal. They'll die for this. So Yeah, these guys, bro, don't underestimate us Africans, man. Yo, we're one game away from the final. You already know, man. This is,
You're not
you
wrong.
know,
You're not wrong about that. I don't know. Well, there definitely will be an upset. I don't know. I think I don't. I really do see Ivory Coast going. If anyone loses, I see Nigeria losing. I see Ivory Coast going to the final. They're at home court advantage. They ain't no way they're playing a third place match, man. They're going to the final, I think, and Nigeria will just have to either stand on business or, yeah. They play Jordan, right? It's Nigeria, Jordan, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think Jordan will get through.
What? No. It's Nigeria or Congo.
Yeah,
Oh,
DR
sorry.
Congo.
So yeah, I think Congo will get through.
Yeah, DR Congo.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
DR Congo will get through. Man.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with Gabriel. Ivory Coast, just even through the group stages, they barely got in, but ever since they let them into the party, they've just been rocking. They got the home court advantage.
Yeah.
It's just that the home nation always has that little bit of juice. I think they'll make it to the finals.
They're gonna be ready to go spiritually.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They're gonna be right.
But Nigeria, South Africa is a trap game. Like Nigeria went all the way, 0-0 to get to the semifinals. They won off penalties. And Nigeria has been struggling to score goals all tournament.
Osimhen.
Seriously, like they only scored 2 goals in the group stages. They just beat, the last team 1-0. So it's been in one of those tournaments where Nigeria is good, but they haven't been producing goals. If it's a low scoring game, I could see South Africa sneaking one.
Yeah.
I can see an upset on that side. I see Ivory Coast winning for sure. But if I had to pick a lock of the week, you feel me?
Yeah. It's a plus a half. I would take it plus a half.
I would say South Africa win or draw, because that goes through regulation. I believe
really over Nigeria. Do you think South Africa has a better chance of beating Nigeria than DR Congo has than beating Ivory Coast?
Yeah.
Oh, so then Ivory Coast will go through. So then
and they've been scoring goals. That's been the biggest thing for me through, the knockout rounds is, can you score goals? They were able to score in each of these rounds. They're not going 1-0. They're scoring 2-1 to beat Mali. These games, they're scoring goals. Nigeria struggled a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Well, let us know, man. Let us know what you guys think. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate all of you guys that are tuning in live too, man. Really appreciate you guys. Most definitely your support. But until